Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a live swatch of the OPI Grease Collection for summer 2018. This is a collection directly inspired by the film Grease. This film is having a re-release this year for its 40th anniversary, which is very exciting, but even more exciting for the nail polish lover like me is an entire, actually 15-piece collection inspired by the film. There are 12 shades in the base collection, and then we have 3 textured polishes, white, black, and pink, and they're supposed to be kind of like a leather-like finish. So I'm going to swatch all 15 shades for you today, and I'm going to, of course, include a dupes and comparison for each of the shades. We're going to do it a little bit differently today, and I'm going to include that photo of all of the swatches lined up for comparison for each polish after each individual polish. And we're just going to kind of move through that quickly today in efforts to keep the video down because there are 15 colors. So as always, I got these polishes from polishpick.com. I've been recommending that website to you guys for a while now. Here it is up here, and I'll also link it in the description bar below. They are a really great place to go to get OPI. They have some other brands there as well, but as far as I've found, they are the most budget-friendly place online to find OPI. They're currently for pre-sale, but this collection launches the very beginning of April, so they should be rolling out very soon. The first 2 polishes in the collection are dark shades. We actually have kind of like 6 lighter springy pastel looking shades and then 6 bolder shades. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So the first one up is a very beautiful dark kind of navy shade, and this has a high shimmer quality to it. I really enjoyed this shade. You are going to probably need 3 coats because at 2 coats is passable, but in some lightings I felt like it was still a little bit streaky and not 100% opaque. So I'm going to swatch 3 coats for you today. This polish is called Chills Are Multiplying. Now if you've seen the film, all of these polish names are going to have, you know, something to do with the film, maybe a line that a character says, which is so fun for me. So I have a photo here for you of Chills Are Multiplying. Here's my swatch photo at 3 coats. Now I have some comparisons for you. Now really quickly, closest for you I have Zoya Nev and China Glaze New Year New Boo. Those are both kind of sparkly navies, but not the same kind of sparkle as in this polish. So this photo here is just for some other options if you really like the shade and wanted to find some more things similar to it, but I don't have an exact dupe for you for this polish today. Next up, let's move on to the kind of charcoal, sparkly charcoal, but it's actually blue leaning. This is very beautiful. It is called Danny and Sandy Forever, of course, Forever. So this is, like I said, really sparkling, kind of charcoaly where you can see all the little particles. I'm going to swatch this for you today at 2 coats. You could go for a 3rd if you wanted to. I really like how this polish gives me a great option to wear a dark neutral shade, but it has a lot of sparkly in there too. I'm seeing mostly like pink and maybe even a little bit of teal, maybe. It's really small, so it's hard to tell. So I have some comparisons for you here. Now I was actually surprised to find that OPI Colmates is actually almost the exact shade as this. So if you already had that shade, you possibly don't need this polish unless you're a super grease fan, but they are incredibly close. If you have them side by side, you can tell a subtle difference, but they are very similar. And then there's some other options for you if you're wanting to find something similar to Danny and Sandy Forever. So if I'm going too fast through these comparisons, just pause the video and you can write down the ones that you like that you're interested in searching out. The next polish I have up for you is this beautiful pink leaning peach. This is really lovely. This is called Hopelessly Devoted to OPI. I keep wanting to say Hopelessly Devoted to You from the very famous Olivia Newton-John song. This polish swatches beautifully at 2 coats. You could, again, go for a 3rd with this one if you wanted to do 3 very thin coats, so it really depends on how you like to apply your polish. But I did 2 coats today, and I just love this shade. It's so gorgeous. My photo for you is going to be 2 coats as well. So I do have a few things to show you in comparison today. Now, no exact dupes, so this photo is just for if you're looking for things that are kind of similar, and I wanted to show you a bunch of things from OPI that are in the same kind of family so that you can see how they look side by side, but no exact dupes here. The next polish in the collection is an off-white, and it's called Don't Cry Over Spilled Milkshakes. So this polish is very interesting, probably one of the most unique polishes in this collection because it looks like a white when it's not alongside other whites, but alongside other white polishes, it's actually a kind of yellowy green white, which is a really interesting shade. And I think what they're going for here is they want this to look kind of like milk. I have a really fun comparison for you so you can see all these other whites and how, you know, they differ with a little tiny pinch of color in them. But in any case, I'm going to swatch this for you today at 3 coats. You could maybe go for 2 if you were really, really careful. But I think 3 coats is going to help you get this 100% streak free and just give you really great coverage. My photo is also going to be 3 coats as well. So here I have the photo I took for you alongside all of my whites that are most similar to this. So basically, yeah, here's a lot of different whites, and as you can see, Spilled Milkshakes in the middle. There is no white that I have that's exactly like this one because it's kind of different. But I decided to include all the different whites that I had, not just the yellow or green leaning ones, because I really don't have very many of those. But I just love this. I love this photo here where you can see just the very subtle ranges. It's so pretty to me. So anyway, pause that if you want to seek out any of those shades. Let's move along. The next shade is also very, very light. It's a really light kind of orchid shade. I really like this one. It's incredibly light in the base coloration, but there's a beautiful shimmer going all throughout, and it shines like a lustery purple coming off of it. It's kind of like a pinky purple, and I think this is really, really pretty. I did go ahead and swatch this at 3 coats. If you keep it thin, then you're not going to build up too much product on the nail, and then you will go ahead and be able to get even coverage across your nail without too much streakiness. This polish is called Frenchie Likes to Kiss, named after the character Frenchie in the film. And so this is one of my favorites. I wish that the luster was a little bit more prominent, but I do really like that it's there. It didn't completely disappear for me on the nail, which I really appreciated. It just kind of gives like a glow to the surface of the nail, which I loved. So for the comparisons that I have for you today, obviously no dupes. These are just some things that were similar. Most similar was Zoya Heather, but as you can see, it's still a lot darker. So these are just some options for you if you were looking for more things like Frenchie Likes to Kiss. Next up, we have a beautiful light pastel yellow, very, very light. One of the lightest in my collection. So this one's called Meet a Boy Cute as Can Be, and this is just a very delicate kind of daffodil buttery yellow, and it's very sweet and pretty. So this one, I did need 3 coats on it. You could maybe get away with 2 if you were really careful with application, but your best bet, especially with shades that are as light as this, to just take a very soft hand, go with light coats, and go for those 3 coats. So as you know, I love yellows, so I do really, really like this shade. It's not my favorite yellow that they've ever put out, but I think that it's very soft and beautiful. So my photos with 3 coats as well. I do have some comparisons for you here. So I have, let's see, I have 5 other options for you. As you can see, nothing is a dupe, but I did want to show you what I had that was the most similar. So pause that if you want more yellows, and let's keep going. The next polish we're going to talk about is the pink. It's a light pink, and it's so cute, and it's just beautiful. I really like this shade. It's a little bit dusty. So this one's called Pink Ladies Rule the School. It's like a kind of peachy pink, obviously a lot more pink than the other peachy pink we were talking about earlier. That one's more like peach with a little bit of pink. This one's like pink with a little bit of peach. I thought this was great in 2 coats. It swatched really nice and easily. OPI really has their pinks down, their reds down. They're really great with those kind of shades. And so I'm going to just swatch this for you at 2 coats, and my photo is 2 coats as well. Now, as far as comparisons go, I do have some pretty similar things here. China Glaze Pink or Swim being the most similar thing for you, and then I wanted to show you a couple of other options as well if you were looking for more pinks in this family. Next up, we have an orange, and this is my top pick out of the collection, and that's crazy, right? Because I'm not really an orange lover, but this is a perfect orange. It's a warm orange when you put it next to all the other oranges. It's definitely on the warm side, and since this is a summer collection, I'm totally cool with the fact that they put kind of a pumpkin Halloween-y orange in here, because you guys, this is perfection on the nail. I love this orange, and OPI has a lot of oranges, when I'm going to show you a few things to compare it to in just a second here as well. This is called Summer Lovin', Having a Blast, and it just swatches beautifully in 2 coats. The color is so fantastic, and I just love that they went for it and put like a really awesome orange in this collection. So very, very happy with the shade. So I do have 6 things here to show you, but none of them are from OPI. So I guess that's kind of why I picked it as being very original. So push pause here if you want to look at these. Some of them are a little bit more obscure Sinful Colors polishes that are very similar to it. Other than that, Essie Orange is kind of close but darker. And then the 2 ones on the bottom are shimmery. So even though it looks like I have a lot of things here to compare it to for you, like I said, some of those are a little bit more obscure. So this one I feel like is one of the most original shades in the collection, and I definitely recommend it. Next up we have a beautiful teal. It's the one that I have on my nails in this video, and by the way, first off, I'll let you know I had no staining issues with this, so that made me very happy. This polish is called Teal Me More, like the song. I'm not going to sing it for you guys. Okay, this is gorgeous. It gets great coverage in even just 1 coat, but I'm going to do 2 coats to make sure I get everything nice and streak free. It just swatches so lovely, and the fact that it didn't stain me just made me like it even more. So I'm going to show you 2 coats in my live application and my swatch photo. Now, as far as how closely this compares to some other things, unfortunately, it's very, very similar to another shade that they already have in their line. And that polish is right there next to Teal Me More, Teal Me More. That polish is called Is That a Spear in Your Pocket? If you put them side by side, you can maybe tell a very subtle difference, but they are incredibly similar. So you can pause that if you want to see how these compare to some other things, maybe find some more teals that you would love. But let's go ahead and move on to the red. So next up is the Hero shade, which I'm not really sure what that means. I think that's just like the shade that they want you to focus on or something in the collection. Oftentimes it's a red. It's a red again in this year's collection. This is called Tell Me About It Stud. I totally get why they made this the Hero shade because it's perfection. It's like the most perfect red. I just rearranged my backdrop a little bit ago because I was running out of space, and I let all my OPI reds have their whole own shelf. So there are a lot of reds from OPI, a lot of really, really good ones. I have a few things to compare this to. As you're going to see, this swatch is so beautifully in 2 coats. It's juicy, it's delicious, it's like the perfect combination of cream and jelly. I just think it's fantastic. So I definitely recommend. Chances are you probably have a polish like this in your collection. I'm just going to show you a few options here in the comparisons. Like I said, there's a million reds that have been made, so chances are you have something very similar to this, but if you really like Grease, you'll probably want this shade, so it's perfect. Okay, we have 2 more colors, and then we're going to move on to the textured finishes. So first up, this beautiful light kind of turquoisey teal is called Was It All Just a Dream? And this is so beautiful. I love this kind of shade. OPI has released a few polishes like this lately, but we'll get onto that in a minute in the comparison photo. So as you can see, this swatches so nicely in 2 coats. It's just beautiful, it's soft, it's easy to wear, it's very spring and summery. Perfect to take you from now all the way into the fall if you want to. So I really, really like this shade. It'll be up to you whether or not you have too many things in your collection that are like this. Looking at this photo here, I do have quite a few things that are incredibly similar, and then on the edges of the photo we're going less and less similar, but I did want to show you specifically on the top and bottom the 2 most recent kind of tealy turquoise shades released from OPI. So pause that if you want to write down those shades. Let's move on. This is another one of my favorites out of the collection. It is so, so good. This is a 1 coater. This is called You're the Shade That I Want, and it's just a beautiful kind of purpley berry pink, and it's fantastic. I love this so much. I do have a lot of things that are like this already, even from OPI, because they must just really like this shade like I do, but it's fantastic. So this is another one of my top picks. If you don't mind purchasing a polish that's probably pretty similar to something you already have, but I really, really liked it because it swatched so nicely and it's just so gorgeous. It's just juicy gorgeous. So here's my comparison photo for you. I do have a number of OPIs that are already in this color range. I wouldn't say that I have an exact dupe for you here, because as you look at this photo, you'll see that You're the Shade That I Want is a touch darker than all of these shades, but these are all kind of in the same zone. So if you want to pull some of them out and play with them, these are the ones that are going to look very, very similar to You're the Shade That I Want, but I still really, really like it, and I already have that many colors that are just like it, so that's pretty crazy, huh? All right, crazy polish lover right here. I can't help it, you guys. I just am. So let's go ahead and move on to the textured polishes. First up, let's look at the pink. I was so excited that they did a textured pink. That's just so fun. Thank you, OPI, for throwing in some really fun shades in here. I really appreciate that. So these leather-like texture finishes, they're definitely textured. I have to say, for me personally, they don't really make me think of leather. I have to admit I don't own a lot of leather, but I don't really think of leather as being like bumpy. I would think of leather finish being more like a very soft, suede-y kind of finish. So that's just for me personally. But if you were looking for some more texture polish, I mean, they haven't done any in a while, so it's really fun. Okay, first up is the pink. This is called Electryfyin Pink, and it's just a beautiful bubblegum pink. Swatches so perfectly in 2 coats. I love it. Their textured formula is really great, where you're getting a really nice balance between the texture component that they put in there, the little grit, and the base color. It's just lovely. It's so beautiful. I really like it. So anyway, like I said, I would have probably chosen to just make these just matte, but you know, it is what it is. So I really think this is fun. 2 coats. For my comparison here, I just have a few options for you. Obviously, they're not dupes. The China Glaze one is the most similar in that it's also textured, but yeah, no dupes here. Just this is purely if you're looking for more things that are kind of in this range. That Simple Colors one was a Candy Johnson limited edition, and it's just plain matte. That's kind of what I'm thinking about, the kind of matte that I would have done for this collection. Next, let's move on to the black. This is Grease is the Word, a fantastic black matte textured polish. Again, swatches so nicely in 2 coats. It's just beautiful, you guys. I do have some more things to compare for you guys. 2 coats in the photo and the live application. So again, one from China Glaze and one from Simple Colors. The China Glaze is the textured one, and the Simple Colors is just the very soft, suede-y kind of matte look. I think that all 3 of these polishes are fantastic, and I'm happy to have all 3 of them. So definitely with these textures, I'm not trying to show you other polishes that I have that are exact dupes. No dupes here, just other fun things to consider if you're in the market for more fun matte black shades. Last up, we have the white, and this is a white textured matte called Rydell Forever. Rydell is the high school that the kids go to in this musical film. And this polish, as with the other 2, swatches so nicely in 2 coats. Something about the texturization of this polish makes it a little bit easier to get opaque in just 2 coats instead of 3. And this is like a white. Swatches so nicely in 2 coats, like I said. My photo is 2 coats as well. Of course, the 3 textured photos were no top coat applied, and a lot of the other shades did need a top coat for my photo in this collection. But as far as my comparisons go, I only have one other matte white to show you, and it's from Simple Colors. And again, this was a limited edition polish, but I just wanted to show you it side by side in case you were wondering. As you can see, that polish does have a little bit of coloration, and it has some gold. And then you can see, in comparison, Rydell Forever is a very stark white shade. So you guys, that is the whole review. I hope that you found it helpful. Thanks for stopping by to spend some time with me today. I don't know if you're as excited about this collection as I am, but I am super, super pumped about it and so happy to be playing with it. So again, you can go over to polishpick.com. Let me know down in the comments what you thought about this collection, which polish was your favorite, which one stood out to you. The orange was definitely the standout to me, but what do you think? I'm not even an orange lover, and I really like that shade, so... Anyway, you guys, if you aren't yet subscribed, just make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little bell, and then you will be notified of any of my videos. Coming up, we have the Essie Spring Collection swatch and review, I Love Nail Polish Spring Collection. We have the Zoya Summer Collection coming very soon. It's on its way to me right now. So I hope you stop back on by for those videos, you guys. Take care until then. Bye!